That again, shall we? Hello, welcome to the weekly Wednesday Lunchtime live stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I am DDO's Community Manager, Cordovan, and I'll be with you for about the next hour, hanging out, having some fun, doing a bit of Q&A, and overall celebrating what appears to be kind of a quiet week in the news frontier for Dungeons & Dragons Online. But we're going to see what we can get done anyway. I've been on vacation, and I'm now back. Been a couple of days now. Should be caught up on just about everything. So there we are. And we'll get to your chat. Hello, how's it going? Yeah. Sorry about the distorted sound there. Tell the engineers to make remnants automatically pick up. That is a quality of life request that we could do someday. It is deliberate that you have to pick them up, but understood. Some people call it gameplay, some people call it annoying. So there you go. Can we get an update for the puzzles, like in Dryad, to make the numbers bigger? Yes, that should also be something that I would like to see us do, hopefully at some point here in the future. Arturium, first of his name. What Saltmarsh details am I going to tell us about today? Well, I could tell you that it's not going to be next week. There was a world in which we were originally hoping to get Saltmarsh out sometime next week, but it looks like it could be the week after that. So stay tuned for more specific downtime details, but looks like we're probably somewhere in about 2 weeks from Saltmarsh maybe getting released. So kind of have to see how things, of course, go over the next 14 days. But that is the current plan, as it were, is probably sometime in early August to get Saltmarsh out. So there we go, update 50. That should be pretty cool. At that point, then, we'll be full speed ahead on, Epic Destinies and beyond. So, but for now, we still have update 50 to get out the door, and we're hard at work doing the final polish on that, and so that should be ready to go within a couple of weeks. Currently, we do not have a third Lamania preview planned, but we'll see what we end up doing there. If we end up needing one, I suppose we can do one, but currently, it looks like it'll be early August for the release of Saltmarsh. So there we go. I will have to check Goldie Gopher on the DDO market being currently down. I know that we had some maintenance work being done in the web environment this morning. It was generally related to the other game, but it could be maybe something got toggled wrong or something. So I'll double check on that, Goldie, when I'm done here with the show today. Champion Hunter vendor anytime soon. I don't know about soon, but I can tell you this weekend, our bonus days are going to be double Commendations of Valor, and VIPs will get an extra 15% XP. Not only that, that kicks off late morning Eastern Time tomorrow, goes through the weekend, through the week, and through the following weekend for that extra VIP XP. The double Commendations of Valor are running through Sunday. That's twice the number of commendations in this case. So something to do there. Also, our summer sale is going to continue. I'm not allowed to really drop hints about what might be in the summer sales that have not yet been published. But let me just say that if you're thinking about purchasing a Racial Action Point tome, you might want to wait till tomorrow. Alright, anyway. Oops. So there we go. Yeah, and that's really what we have going on here right now. So we're really hard at work getting update 50 ready to go out the door. We're locking down kind of our final build, our marketing, all the assets, all the promotional stuff that goes along with it. I know that we've got a interview potentially next week with DDO Cast and Ask the Devs. That should be just kind of a general purpose one. I'm probably gonna have Rob, Sev on some point here in the relatively near future on the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream, but for now we're really at the point of just kind of getting things ready to go. So like I say, I'm actually doing something a little bit different today in that the DDO client being played is not actually being played off my computer. My computational device is not being used to play DDO here. I've got it kind of being fed in through one of those Elgato cards on a different device. I'm just kind of seeing what it does in terms of my ability to stream in 1080p, frame rate, that kind of thing as well. And if it makes a big difference, then of course, you know, we'll see what happens. Could also be, though, as the client's just going to crash because I'm doing something a little weird with it. And if that's the case, then I'll just have to swap on over to a regular game client here, but we'll see. We'll see what's up. Let's bring out a little cleric. I don't really have a plan in terms of questing today. I sort of rolled into it Wednesday. You know, I got back about 2 o'clock in the morning on Monday from vacation, and I've just really been working full speed ahead on basic tasks since then. So I really didn't have much time to put thought into what I was going to do for the live stream today, which is a little unfortunate. I'm sorry to do that to you. So I figured, well, let's just pick something safe, do some low-level questing on a character that, hey, can always use some XP. So let's just roll with it and do that. So that's all I'm doing today, folks. So if you're expecting, you know, something special in terms of the gameplay, sorry, it's going to be kind of a generic? I don't know. I sort of had to decide what the heck I was going to do here, and I'm not actually sure what I'm going to do.
This
so
heavy iron-bound door is fitted with an unpickable magical lock.
All right, let me head on over to YouTube chat really quickly. Any time frame for when the prices of the expansion will be announced? I would not expect to know the price of the expansion and be able to tell it to you publicly until day of release. When you are able to purchase it is likely when you will discover how much it costs. Sorry that we don't do a lot of pre-hype on that. It is just sort of the way it is, that once people can purchase it, we usually announce the price. And you cannot purchase it until day of release in this case. Sometimes if we're doing, you know, pre-purchase campaigns and what have you, then we'll do something different. But in this particular case, yeah, it'll be out when it's out. We'll have a whole bunch of cool details about what's going to be in all the packs and all that sort of thing then. So, we'll see. We'll see. If I can get you some information sooner, then perhaps we can do that. But no guarantees on that. Let me just... who uses a hireling for lobby quests? I do! I don't need it. You're right. This is... Call it, hey, I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing on the live stream. Safety backup. Because in case I get distracted or just screw up, gives me a little bit of a measure of safety here to just sort of have that hireling as a backup. So, whatever. This is not about challenging myself and testing my skills in terms of gameplay here today. If you don't like it, well, fine. Go on vacation for 10 days and come back and then have to do a live stream for your job without really thinking about what you have to do. And I know that's my fault, but there we go. It's been a busy couple of days. With the heroic items upgrades coming, are they going to be retroactive, or are we going to have to refarm them once again? It would be extremely annoying if the latter is the case. The latest word on that will be in the Lamania thread. I don't have that off the top of my head, but it was on the thread from last week in terms of what you do with existing items to upgrade them. Just go check out the thread there on the Lamania forums, and that'll have your answer. The 1080p stream does look nice. I agree, it seems to be working, and that's part of why I wanted to give an alternate thing a try. I don't really want to... I don't know how much I can talk about it, because it is sort of a little weird on my part in terms of what I'm using. Maybe I could do it towards the end. I don't want to make it seem like a promo or anything like that, so... So it's just, you know, for the purposes of this, it's just a standard Windows 10 mini PC that I'm trying to use to run this.
As the door opens, A small goblin cries out. Meat ship now!
When is the guild ship going to go up from 200? No real plans for that.
Looking around, you spot an iron
I would say potentially... I mean, there's nothing to say that we couldn't do that in the future. I just have not really heard of any plans to do so. So I would say the answer to your question as to when is probably going to be whenever we might next do guild work. But I haven't really heard of any short-term plans to do that.
On stone echoes out from the goblin's common area. A foul stench.
Yes, so in terms of what I'm playing, I am currently going through a Shifter Barbarian, and I'm only level 4, so, you know, I haven't even really gotten started yet, but that's what I'm actually doing here, is playing a Shifter Barbarian, so. Can you tell I was playing hardcore so much recently? I had this flinch motion. I just had a little flinch there where I was like, is that the... Do I have to, yeah. Pets picking up mysterious remnants. So, that's a cool idea. Currently, as it stands, creature companions cannot interact with the game world, so that wouldn't be possible. However, if by pets you mean like hirelings, it would be tricky. Any kind of... I think the challenge you might have is that you would have to type Mysterious Remnants as really kind of its own thing that it might not be now. You wouldn't want your pets, for example, taking your gold, or keys that are laying on the ground in quests, or, you know, that kind of thing. So I think there might be a little bit of a challenge there in terms of making that happen, but that's something that could be overcome, you know. Oh, let's give myself a list, because why not? Alright. Yeah, I know I'm kind of going on easy mode here today. Just cut me some slack. Maybe I'll challenge myself towards the end. Probably not. I'm just hanging with you, getting kind of back into the swing of things. Of course, you know, within a few weeks here, we'll have new content and Saltmarsh to show off. And this character should be in a pretty good place to be able to do Saltmarsh stuff. In the meantime, let me make sure I've got Facebook chats questions addressed. When is the new Hardcore season going to happen? Well, today, the Hardcore Season 4 is officially closed, so I would expect, it won't be an immediate turnaround. I would expect something, let's say, a couple of months-ish from now. We'll probably roll out Hardcore Season 5, but it's going to be a little ways yet. We have Update 50 to do, and we've got Update 51 to work on, and a whole bunch of things on our plate. So we do have a Hardcore Season 5 planned, I can tell you that much, but I can't yet tell you when the date is, other than to say it's not going to be like a month-long turnaround here. It's going to be a little bit of a while. Something 2-3 months away. Check out the Fate Arc Illusionist if I have not already. Yeah. Footprints with Hardcore Season 5. Those things are very much liked, so who knows? Who knows what we'll do with the Footprints. Do I know what the max Slayer is for Saltmarsh? I don't. I would imagine it would be in line with the general heroics, which are... Well, maybe there is no general in line for heroics. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to double check on that. My guess would be something like 7,500 or 15,000, but that's simply just a guess. I'll have to check. Is there a chance we can get some type of need versus greed roll system for loot? Probably not, Top Hat Tolab. I don't know that a lot of people would really be into that, but maybe. Reaper Wings achievement in Hardcore 4 be memorialized in the Hall of Heroes. I'm not sure about that, but congrats, Apocalypse, on doing that, by the way. Who knows what we can do? We'd love to do something, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, you want to I'm stealing your orbs in Prison of the Plains, for example. Yeah. When is Update 50 coming out? Not next week, potentially the week after. Stay tuned for more downtime, but probably something in the range of about 2 weeks-ish from today. What level will the new quests be? They were already on the money. They're like around level 3, right? 3? Is that right? Not allowed to say, says it anyways. What? I didn't do that. Some folks would like to see the Autos boxes back. I will pass that along to the store people. Will Hardcore League be an event that doesn't affect play on the other servers that we experience from so many players leaving for Hardcore server and leaving the game for the duration? Well, I can tell you that certainly some people are going to take a break from the live servers while they play on Hardcore. But in general, we have not found... Let me try this side. I don't know, it's hard to quantify in that kind of number, and we can't really just give you the number. But while some people do that, it certainly isn't universal. And we do have a lot of people that return to the game for Hardcore, so it's a mix. It's a mix. In terms of how not to impact, you know, you may see some people doing the challenge on Hardcore and then come back to the live game worlds. I don't know that we necessarily want to force players to not play on Hardcore, for example, right? But in general, the Hardcore season has a fairly minimal impact on the rest of the game. I know there's some forum chat, you know, arguing that we've made a lot of changes because of Hardcore. That is almost never actually true. These changes were needed. They may have been done because of a thing we're trying to do, maybe, for Hardcore. But for the most part, they would have been done anyway. So, I don't know. Like I say, you can get into kind of loaded terminology and things like that that I really wouldn't want to do. But in general, we don't really let our Hardcore plans, it just doesn't really impact the rest of the game's development that much. It, you know, you'll see it and hear it on the forums, but it just isn't true.
This small chamber looks like a safe place to rest.
Outside of maybe a few exceptions. I'm sure they could find some exceptions for just about anything like that.
Something about this section of the wall seems off. The wall in the armory slides open, making barely a sound. The hobgoblin chieftain lurches out of his throne with a roar. The hobgoblin chieftain slumps to the ground.
Alright, there we go.
Dead.
Yep, the Pixie Companion is from the Illusionist tree. Fate Arc Illusionist. Actually, Gravisters, we've even done... have we not done Autos boxes during Hardcore? I don't even know that that's true. I think we've done an Autos box during Hardcore, haven't we? I know we don't do it much, but if we were, it would... I don't know that we explicitly... No, we haven't? Okay. Guild ship amenities were not removed due to abuse on Hardcore. No plans to fix them until Hardcore. That's simply not true, Sean. We have announced several times over the years, dating back as far as, what, 2012, that we intended to remove the guild ship amenities. And we finally got around to it. It happened to be around the same time as Hardcore, but it really had more to do with low-level gameplay in general than anything that was happening specifically on hardcore. Now, the fact that it was making everyone just kind of cheese all the low-level stuff on hardcore, yeah, nice little side benefit to get that work done. But that work would have been done regardless of hardcore or not, because it needed to be done. It should have been done years and years ago. And we finally got to the point, it's like, no, let's do this thing. So we did it. There we go. I don't know what you're talking about, Guy Cater. Numerous longtime players should not currently be locked out of DDO due to what you call a Lotro breach. That doesn't exist. I have no idea what you're talking about. We did do, however, a mass password reset on people who hadn't changed their passwords, I think it was older than 7 years, and had not logged in something like 2 to 3 years. So could be that that's what you're talking about. And if that's the case, what you need to do is get in touch with customer service, and they can help you just real quick get your account set to you and make sure that it's legit. So, hi from Austin, hi from Croatia, hey from Wisconsin. Hey, I wasn't too far away from you that long ago, Eric. New Zealand, I was quite a ways away from you. A second strength race, I don't know. When were we able to look into Necrolox being able to use Celestial Spirit? That restriction does not make sense. I will have to pass that. I will have to see what the current status of the systems team is on that. I don't know. I think if we ever did offer autos on hardcore, I don't know that we'd see a lot of instant 20s and 30s. We might see a few people willing to buy their way past that first life or so to get the goal, but you'd still have to earn all that stuff. You'd still have to earn all that favor and Reaper XP. And I don't really... It would help. Let's be real, it would help. But would it help enough to really be like something lots of people are doing at that kind of price point? I don't know. Seems like the potential to be more of a theoretical rather than actual issue. It would help people get that first life under their belt for those who wanted to spend their way to it, I suppose. But how many people would actually do that? What's the weekly giveaway this week? I don't know. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. No idea. What am I doing? What am I doing? Where am I going? I don't know. Hoping I don't jinx it right now, but, so far so good on running this thing. Who would like to see new Reaper wings, color design, new Reaper tree, eliminating the cost to buy wings with literally any type of reincarnation? I do think that we will. Well, I don't know that there will never be any cost because we do want to have just a general kind of thing you have to opt into as part of the process. But I do think that we will be adjusting the cost to acquire the Reaper wings. It really the high cost originated based on player request. That if people are going to do it, that someone was like, it should be a plat sync. And at the time, they were like, well, alright, let's try making it a plat sync. And then quickly we're like, no, but we didn't mean an actual plat sync. You know? So, because it is sort of an arbitrary opt-in, right? So, that's why it was what it was and why it'll probably change back to something a little less onerous here in the future. Yeah, a few people have no problem with the cost. I think in general, though, you know, it is ultimately just cosmetic wings here, so maybe we should be not be too ridiculous with the price point of it, but there we are, right? So, updating traps to be more like current traps or randomized every time you run a dungeon. The idea of randomized traps, we can do semi-randomized traps in the game, but ultimately the way that we make our dungeons, you have to kind of place these traps in the world in a way that kind of makes them basically permanent. Like I said, there are some kind of workarounds that we have done a little bit of, but there's a lot of stuff that is really more like when you start a dungeon, it could maybe be in one of a couple of different places. But the idea of like completely randomized traps, unfortunately, is not really supported by the game engine.
You can also see the nest at
Traps need to be deadlier. Okay, I will let the team know. Players want to die to more traps. At what point do I think the next level cap increase will be? I would expect it to take place, you know, obviously not Saltmarsh here, because that's just a couple weeks from now. And is, you know, a mini expansion. But I guess I would say probably something in the range of our next full-fledged expansion, just as a guess. Hard to say, though. Hard to say. We'll have more information on that, you know, as we get closer to it. I would like a monocle, too, on my character. Will the Bottle of Mist Ravenloft transport item ever be available to buy separately? No. Almost certainly it's going to remain a part of the Ravenloft purchase process. Okay, Guy, I will be able to... I've got that thread. I just followed through on that thread there, the thread link you posted in Facebook. When I get off the air today, I'll read through your account access issue and see what's going on there. You know, I can't really speak to what might be going on. I have no idea if the account was maybe used, compromised, whatever. I simply don't know based on just a couple of messages in chat. But I'll take a little bit of time after the show here today and just kind of see what's up. I actually, now that I think I may have already pinged CS on that this week, but I'll double check. A wardrobe closet for cosmetics would be something we would love to see. Unfortunately, it is going to be a significant amount of work. Not that it couldn't be done, but it would be a challenge to do. It's going to be a challenge, because you're basically going to have to do some manual labor on every item, every cosmetic item in the game. Literally, you're going to have to do manual labor on every cosmetic item in the game. And that's a lot of work, to retype it, and then create the system to recognize it and put it into bags. Not saying that won't happen, but I am saying some poor soul's gonna have to go line by line and probably do some manual data entry there.
The kobolds scramble to defend their cave at the sight of you, while one of their numbers scampers away. You slide through the muck and refuse into a pool of stagnant slop. It's just not your day.
Because right now, the cosmetic system kind of knows what a cosmetic is, but also kind of doesn't know what a cosmetic is. And until that issue, that kind of fundamental engineering issue gets resolved, it really would not be possible to do a cosmetic bag. But We'd like it. We think you'd like it. You've definitely told us you'd like it, so, you know, we'll see. We'll see what we can do. Maybe once we actually, maybe, once time gets spent on it, someone will figure out a way that we can do this more easily without problems. So, we'll see. It would be similar to a mount tab, I think, yes. The problem is that mounts, you know, have that demarcation, so that they can go into a tab. Every single cosmetic item in the game does not. And because of the way that they were made sometimes separately over the years through different systems, means you can't universally apply a thing and just have it work. Which is what the kind of manual thing comes in, as I understand it, so... There's a collectible table that can be clicked twice. Well, jeepers. We're gonna have to fix that. No, I don't know. I have not heard of short-term plans to do a server unlockable event. I would say that it's certainly something that remains, you know, in the list of ingredients that we could choose to utilize in the future, right? Was the free quest coupon code given during the pandemic positive for the game? Yes. 1,000 times yes. I think some of the let's just say a few things that may exist that let people see our population charts that, you know, are not something that we officially support, but whatever, will also kind of back me up on that. That free quest coupon code thing was pretty good. For the game, for the game's community, and for the health of the game as a whole. So, we were thrilled to be able to do it. And will it ever come back? I don't know. It could. It could come back someday. But I certainly wouldn't want to unduly get people's hopes up or anything like that. The video's starting to jump a little bit. That's a bummer. I was kind of hoping that would be going away with kind of the test I'm doing here today on the live stream. But if it is, I'm just gonna have to cut it back from 1080p. I will say this though too. I'm actually expecting to start to return to the office in August here sometime. So, and the thing that'll probably get me into the office first will be these live streams. You know, frankly, a lot of the non-live stream work I can do at home. And obviously I've been doing this live stream for both games at home for, what, about a year and a half now. But there's something to be said for having a dedicated data pipeline in the office, like inside of the firewall, etc., to just bang out things like admin clients, game updates, higher resolution, etc., that when dealing with my actual home internet, which, while robust, is consumer level, you know, is a little rough. So I'm going to probably end up being back in the office here in the relatively near future, and the driver for that will be to have higher quality live streams. But just in case, I wanted to, while I was still doing the home thing, I wanted to kind of give this opportunity a shot and see if it works or not. I have a little mini PC of sorts that I'm using, and I've got it being fed into my main computer using an Elgato HT60, you know, one of those basic kind of video audio capture cards that is the hipness among streamers and such. So that's what I'm using here. I'm just kind of testing it out today to see how it works. So there will not be a pre-purchase for the mini expansion. Once it's out, then you can purchase it. Who are the voice actors for Saltmarsh? I don't know. Hopefully I can get that answer for you. I think I had heard that it was someone I was not familiar with, so I think we might be using someone new this time.
The entrance to their camp. Just as you brace yourself for a fight, another Knoll calls out to you in a shrill voice.
You there! If you're looking for a way inside, I've got just the thing. But I might need something myself.
Eula Bloodgleam, daughter of the Knoll chieftain, has given you a charm of evil chaos to help you infiltrate the camp. She and the Knoll Outlanders want to leave the borderlands. The guards scramble to let you pass. Just as Eula said, a visitor from the cult of evil chaos commands their attention. Oro's Sandcloak lets you in on a secret. Chief Bloodgleam has been lying to the Outlanders about sending their comrades to join the cult. If you can prove that Outlanders
I'm not going to be able to do any of these, but let's just
instead, it
try
will
it.
destroy their loyalty to the chief.
Alright.
You find a stone slab and you've stumbled across Kolva Pebbleskin's diary. The Outlander writes about...
A vacation was good. So for me, you know, it had been a few years since I had last gone home to visit family and friends up in the grand state of Minnesota, of which I largely consider myself hailing from. And so it was nice. It was really nice to be able to see friends and relatives and all that sort of thing.
You spot a gemstone ring among the rubble of bones and blood. Oros said Gravemaw always wore a ring like that before he went to serve the cult. This proof of Gravemaw's death will convince the Outlanders once and for all that they should abandon the cult.
I'm actually pretty impressed that I'm able to remember what I'm doing here for the most part. I think I just stopped remembering what I'm doing, but we'll see what I come up with here. Now do I go? I can never remember what I do at this point. I always get out of order. Alright, so I need to figure out Rhea Brassic. How do I do that? Don't trust. How do I get that last one? You hate this quest. It requires thinking. I know. What is with all this thinking? Forget thinking, huh? I go back to the main guy? Is that what it is? Or is it Boomfoot I go to? Must be Boomfoot, huh? Yep. Oh, I need to read the tablet too. Alright, the tablets are... The tablets. One tablet down. Yeah, there we go. There we are. Now I go to Boomfoot, then I go back to the Outriders. Okay, thank you.
Zark's Soot Club. Talking to Boomfoot could be very useful. Boomfoot reveals that Zark's Soot Club, the renowned Outlander fighter, can't stand the sight of blood. Time to let Zark know what you know.
Basically, okay, so I found that one, I found that one, and then the third one is up the other direction. That is there, not there, not there. I thought there was the one in there. One in the back. Speak to Boomfoot again? No. Think, Jerry, think. Yeah, I know you're watching me close. Okay. Not there. Oh, there we go. Yay. Thank you.
You find Rhea Brasstuck's diary hidden in the dirt. It seems Rhea admires Kolva Pebbleskin.
Yeah. Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh is a mini expansion, and we'll have more information on that when we go live with it. So.
The Knoll nods in agreement. You've convinced enough Knoll Outlanders to turn against Chief Bloodgleam and her cultists. You've convinced members of the tribe to turn against the cult of evil chaos.
Are there plans to make the airship and teleport versions go to more places? Are there plans to advertise the game better? Yes and yes. I think that we generally have been adding more places to the airship as we've been kind of expanding things. I would expect to see some of that continue. And yes, we are going to be, one of the things we'll be doing is rolling out our email newsletter system. That's been dormant for a little while due to kind of contracts and databases and all the rest of that kind of thing. And that, if everything goes well, should be ready to go for Saltmarsh here. So that'll be good news.
Another group of gnolls rushes into the chamber.
What did I do while I was on vacation? I got to ride a boat. I went camping at Itasca State Park, which is the mouth of the Mississippi River. Had a good time doing that. Hung out with friends and family. Got to catch up on that for the first time post-COVID and everything. Got to run my RC car around in some cool places. Got to hang out with my parents and their significant others. I got to shoot tannerite and cause a little implosion, as it were, in a remote region of Minnesota. That was pretty cool.
Blood Gleam and the other cultists out of the way, Eula and Oro can finally escape into the wild.
Yeah, I needed a couple of a break. It was nice to have 10 days off, and on top of that, it was one of the it was a relatively rare vacation where there wasn't the asterisk by it. In terms of, yeah, I'm on vacation because I still have to do X, Y, and Z. Because of the help provided by the team and just the general calendar, I was able to really take a couple of real, like, week and a half off and recharge a little bit, and that was very, very nice. So, yes, on a boat. Yeah. That dancing frog on Lamania, we understand that it's popular. Stay tuned. Yes, there will be tiered packs for the expansion, standard, base, collectors, ultimate. And we'll have more information about that soon. Maybe day of release, which is also soon. You bet. You bet. I have video of that tannerite. I may have to go and upload that at some point. Alright, so I think we're getting close-ish to the end of the show here, are we not? I guess let me just repeat the news here. Get out. I don't think we have time to start another quest, so let me just kind of get out and see what's up in terms of final news. Double Commendations of Valor. Kickoff tomorrow morning, late morning Eastern Time, run through Sunday. Also kicking off late morning Eastern Time tomorrow and running much longer than Sunday is a 15% VIP XP boost. Now this stacks with that 10% you're already getting. And that runs not just through the weekend, but also through the entirety of next week and through the entirety of the following weekend. So that's going to be around till whatever date that is. It'll be around through August 1st. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, plus 15% VIP. Also, we have 2 more weeks of the summer sales. One new batch kicks off tomorrow, and then we've got 1 more week of summer sales as well. Saltmarsh, not next week, potentially the week after. Stay tuned for more about that as we get close. No, I did not cruise the Mississippi from Minnesota to Louisiana. Sorry. I was close to the source of the Mississippi, which is Itasca State Park in kind of northern-ish Minnesota. Mouth of the Mississippi, the formal mouth as they were. And it's a cool little place. Went camping. So, there you are. I guess, just real quick, I did want to point out, before I call it here, actually, let me see if I can get a light on it first. Just so that it kind of shows up a little bit better on camera. But I was using something weird here today for the live stream, and I just wanted to kind of turn that around quick and mention it as I'm getting ready to wrap up the show. This is not an endorsement. You know I'm into this kind of stuff, but I'm just saying it is working here. It's been working for a day plus now, so let me flip that camera around. I currently have the DDO client rolling through a little mini PC that came out by Atari in June here, and this is what that sucker looks like. So that's the new Atari VCS that came out in like June. I've had it since about Christmas here, hence the dust. But, yeah, so I've currently got DDO running on this through that little portable hard drive there. It's just a little USB 3.0 SSD that I've got the DDO client on. And the VCS runs generally a variation of Linux on its own, but can dual boot into any external operating system like Windows. So I just have Windows 10 on this little SSD here. And then I'm running it through the Atari VCS, going through one of those Elgato, I can't see that right now, Elgato Stream Decks. That's not showing up on camera. But I got it going through one of those. And then I got it being piped into my PC. And the main benefit for that is the ability to maybe take that burden off my computer's processor and see how it compared on 1080p video here today. So anyway, I thought that was kind of cool, huh? Kind of neat. There you go. But it has nothing to... They're not backing anything. There's no official announcement. We're not supporting it, as it were. It's just a mini PC that runs Windows. And guess what? DDO can play on Windows. So that's all there is to that. But I thought that was kind of cool. And unfortunately, I don't have Lotro working the same way. Lotro's got some kind of crashing issue with this particular hardware setup or something. I'm not sure quite what's going on there yet. But although DDO's been running fine for me, the Lord of the Rings Online has been having an issue where it runs fine until suddenly the game just splats out of the OS. And I think that there's some kind of weird hardware thing that's related to the R1606 chipset or something that the VCS uses. But, whatever. I thought that was kind of neat, huh? Pretty cool. So, yep. Anyway, I thought I'd show that just to kind of wrap up the show here as well. Oh, and by the way, yes, I still have a CRT television hooked up in my house because of said Atari stuff that I do. Alright, that's going to wrap it up then with the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you next week with quite a bit more, hopefully a little bit more of substance too, for the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream. You can find the full schedule over on twitch.tv/DDOstream. Until next week everyone, have fun, and thanks for being here.